Hi, everybody. Well, if you're listening to me right now, then it's probably because you want to transform your body and consequently your life with it. But I'm going to tell you an undeniable truth about all transformations that most people don't know. All transformations start by changing from within first and then end up changing your scale, your body, and your experience of life. It's actually not possible to change the outside permanently unless you change the inside first. Now, I know you probably already knew this deep down inside, but let's do a quick 12-question survey and see where you're at. Quickly, get a piece of paper out and just write yes or no to each of these answers, to these questions, and let's see how you do. Do you feel as though you are always looking for that magic bullet that just eludes you from getting the results that you want? Have you been following a diet and fitness program for more than 6 months with no transformation in sight? Do you hate getting on the scale in the morning because it reminds you of how far you are from your ideal body? Do you avoid looking at your body naked or in the mirror because your own image conjures up feelings of failure or disgust? Do you feel embarrassed to wear swimwear or revealing clothes because of the way your body looks? Do you feel like the harder you try and the more effort you put forward, the less results you seem to get? Do you feel like because of all that you may have tried, your body just must not work like everybody else's? Do you feel frustrated about knowing what you should eat and do in order to have the body that you desire? Do you feel tired of trying the latest diets only to be disappointed in your results? Does your frustration with your body consume more time and mental energy than you want? Do you worry that your body may be broken and simply can't or won't change? Now, deep down inside, are you beginning to suspect that diet and exercise alone is only part of the key to transforming your body? Well, if you got more than 2 yeses on your paper, I've got double good news for you. One good news is that none of the problems I just shared with you are the real issues, and therefore you don't need to fix each one individually. The other good news is that I'm going to help you understand where all these seemingly disparate problems originate so that you can fix the root cause. Are you ready? Okay, good. Let's dig into this a bit. I'm Tad, or as many know me, Tad the Diet Coach. I've been in the body transformation business for close to 30 years. I've spent a couple of decades on this problem with so many of my clients, and I have very deep clarity on what transformations actually take, and I want to share them with you. In my work with professional athletes, fitness models, and so many others, I have realized, and so have they, that transformation is simple when you know the right steps to get the results with your body and the whole self. What I have found out is that the transformational process relies on 3 shifts of understanding from deep within that allow and stimulate change. Here are the cliff notes. In order to transform into the person with the body that you desire and the feelings of confidence in yourself that you want to feel, you have to realize that you're not just losing weight, you're becoming a new person. The transformational process really means dying to the old self and being reborn to a new self, taking on new beliefs and behaviors. Your transformation will not come from doing and believing the same old things that got you where you are now. And that is probably keeping you where you are too. And that doesn't just mean the body, it means the mind as well. It means in order to truly and permanently have the transformation that you desire, you must be prepared to leave who you once were behind in order to pick up who you want to be now. And this always means changing more than just diet and activities. Transformation is a process of complete mind and body change. As a matter of fact, I had recently had a client named Claire who had been dieting on and off for several years, trying to lose about 50 extra pounds of fat. She was dedicated and meticulous about her diet and training, but over the years, she had many starts and stops, lots of losses on the scale, but lots of gains too. Throughout her life, she would balloon up to over 300 pounds at one point in spite of all of her efforts. By the time I got to her, she was skeptical that she would ever have her transformation, and worst of all, she felt more frustrated and defeated each day that she looked into the mirror at herself. After about 30 days of working with her, Claire began to understand that all of her old motivations to eat, to train, and to act in transformative ways in her life centered around many old messages that simply were in conflict with her new goals. We identified and dug into these things and that were actually holding her back. Now, she desired the change, but was actually resisting it within herself without knowing it. Once she realized that she had to let go of her old version of herself so she could then begin to embrace what she was worthy, that she was worthy of change. She had to actually embrace that. Once she allowed herself to love herself, now her transformation finally began. And by the way, the next few weeks, Claire's fat loss average was 4 pounds a week. That's amazing. The second thing my clients always seem to realize along the journey of transformation is that they need to discard their own self-limiting belief that the transformation process should feel comfortable, and instead embrace that the process being uncomfortable through the process of redefining the consequences of their discomfort. In this way, redefining what positive change really feels like is critical. Spoiler alert, the transformational process is going to feel uncomfortable, and these feelings must be examined and redefined for you if you want the smoothest path to transformation. It is typically discomfort in a person's life that gives them the reason to renegotiate their behaviors along the way so that they can make their diet and activities feel easier, but always reducing the level of change for that individual. Claire really had this problem in spades as well. As a matter of fact, her avoidance of what she felt was uncomfortable was the main reason she never saw consistent results. Whenever something got hard in her process, whenever a new obstacle came up, like limited time to prep food for the week, or if she just had some new stressor in her life, like she woke up late or she received some new work demand, then her diet and her activities went right out the window as she sank back into making the same old choices she had always made, nullifying any progress and keeping her on the trajectory of disappointment that she'd always experienced. She was living a cycle of work, stress, regression, frustration, and repeat. So she was doing the work, but because she hadn't accepted and redefined discomfort in her process, she would zero out her progress week after week by avoiding discomfort and constantly felt as though she had no control over her progress. Once we redefined Claire's expectations for what she was supposed to feel in her experience, she then fully embraced her diet and her exercise programs without allowing her uneasiness to distract her from get in her way and give her the license to renegotiate her behaviors. She then became a fat, losing transformational queen, really loving her journey and not feeling discouraged with the discomfort of her change. As a matter of fact, she got so into redefining that discomfort, that what discomfort meant to her in her process, that she started looking forward to hunger. She started looking forward to self-denying herself of foods that she once loved, and even the pain of a great workout, because she knew what came next: real change. Now, the third shift that all my transformational clients come to know is that the amount of change that you have the capacity to experience right now is equal to what you believe is possible for you. If you're like many of my past clients, then you may think that you've tried everything to get the results that you desire. But if you haven't given yourself permission to believe in yourself and to get the help that you need to make the transformation you want, then you're simply not going to transform. This means that you must be able to believe in what you cannot see right now as a potential reality. The degree of your transformation will always be directly related to what you believe is possible for you. Most people try to get results, but in the end, they simply haven't given themselves permission to transform into what they wish because they deny themselves with self-doubt. Faith in yourself is vital. I've literally worked with hundreds of people on transformations, and 99% of them need this shift of faith in order to succeed. Your belief that you can create the vision of you that you want is the critical placeholder that allows each person the space to transform in their life. It isn't fancy and it doesn't sparkle, but if you do not believe that you can have something, then you will always find a way to confirm this in your experience. The great news is, the reverse is also true. The fundamental belief that you and I are agents of our own change is the one key to success that so many do not think they even need. I mean, most of us think that we believe in ourselves, right? But the truth is, most people only believe in what they already created, but not in what they can't see or feel right now. Those dreams and visions usually require proof that they're coming in order for most people to even attempt to believe in them. This final shift can make a dramatic difference in the magnitude of results that we each receive from our lives. A longtime client of mine, Nancy, experienced this. She first came to me because she wanted to simply lose about 30 pounds of extra fat that was making her feel tired and less than sexy. After working with her for a short period of time, she came to me and asked me if I thought it was possible for her to be more than just a fit mom. She wanted to know if she had the capacity to take her physique and compete on a stage with other bikini athletes. I told her that it really didn't matter what I believed. It only mattered what she believed about herself. She trusted me, and we worked towards competing regularly. And within 5 years, she was a highly competitive athlete with a wall of trophies. But her body didn't start to really take on the look that she really wanted until she started believing that this was a possibility for her. She had to believe that her desire was possible for her in order for her to give herself the license to do all that was required to transform into a bikini athlete. Once she believed that her desire was possible, she only had to put in the time and the work. So to sum up, all great transformations require you to die to your old self for you to embrace and redefine the discomfort of change and have complete faith in your vision of your transformation. So when you understand and work with these 3 principles, you can finally let go of the frustration of living in a body you don't like, of the pain and embarrassment of feeling unattractive, of the feelings of failing at being the best version of you that you know you want to be, and finally begin to experience the freedom of enjoying a sexy body that you appreciate, of feeling like the best version of yourself, and finally getting rid of those old feelings of judgment that may plague you because your body doesn't match the vision that you want. When I work with you, I want you to know that transformations are much more than just putting in diet and exercise work. It requires change on every level of being. I'm 100% committed to the whole person because that is what makes great transformations. Remember, you don't just change the outside, you change on the inside too. After all, it's the changes we feel on the inside, like heightened confidence and deepened satisfaction, that we are always the most rewarding and the real reasons we are motivated to act anyways. So here's what to expect from my transformational program week by week. Week 1, aside from receiving your customized diet and activity plan, in week 1, I work with you deeply to discover what your transformation will really entail. This is like the trailer to your transformational movie. This allows you and I to have clarity and insight on the sticky points that you must be prepared to face along the way. This is really the full recognition of the new version of you that you need to create and what that path is going to look like. In week 2, this is where I then take you by the hand and teach you how to use your schedule to really help you become the transformational master. By this time, you have been on your diet, your activity plan, and your nutritional supplement schedules. We now record weekly body data and discuss the day-to-day challenges that you're facing on your weekly check-in calls, which I like to refer to these calls as our opportunities to grow calls. These are group check-in calls where you get not only my support, but also the support of others on the same journey. This is a wonderful time where you can learn from others, you can get supported, and create an atmosphere where change can actually happen. Now, week three is about the time where people start to get distracted from their goals and progress starts to slow. This is when I teach you how to deepen your own focus, but also how to redirect your attention so that your energy is always pointed at what you want. This is the power of your focus of attention, and it is vital in controlling what you feel throughout your journey. Now, week 4, we deepen our awareness about ourselves even further with power journaling. I call it power journaling. It's a journaling process, but remember, because transformations require change on the inside and out, I teach you how journaling can facilitate insight, learning, and your own transformation. This part of the journey is always the most enlightening for many. My goal throughout your process is to never leave you completely alone. I have found that change can make people feel alienated and alone, so you have to understand that I built this program specifically with supporting you at the top of my priority. I never want you to feel alone or stranded. I'm in this with you, I promise. Now, weeks 5 through 11, this is all about internal messaging and programming. Now, weeks 5 through 11 are very important. They often create the momentum that's needed to really follow through in an amazing transformation. I mean, I am going to support you with continued dietary and exercise updates to keep your progress on track, but this is when we also examine the internal messages and programming that may be deflating some of your enthusiasm and motivation. You will learn how to change some of that old programming that doesn't work for you any longer and affirm your new transformed identity. Now remember, inside and out change. This is how it's done. Now week 12, this is about how we move beyond your transformation. Finally, as we reach the final week of your journey, this is where I talk to you about what you may need to do next to either complete your transformation or how you may need or how to maintain your transformation. I introduce reverse dieting, how to course correct, and maintenance dieting so that you can take control of your fitness journey when you wish. Now, I realize that many people may need more time than 12 weeks depending on how much fat and weight they may need to lose. So this is also the point where I introduce my continuity programs that I offer for those who need more support from me when for the rest of their fat loss journey. I say again, I never leave you hanging and alone. I deeply understand how lonely this process can feel and how confusing it can be also. So I have prepared my programs to offer you the maximum level of support so that you never feel lost or alone as you transform your body. I want to reiterate that this is not a do-it-yourself program. I am actually with you every step of the way. This makes me different, what makes me different is that I not only support you on a deep subconscious level, but I combine it with science and strategy. This isn't just me telling you what to eat and do in order to change your body. Yes, that's there too. But this is me supporting you on the deepest emotional level and physical levels possible that will facilitate your transformation. So to recap a little, my transformation program has very specific mindset and motivation support weekly. Each week, I give you practices that will cultivate and nurture the kind of attitude and feelings that you will need to support your transformation. I also have a live group coaching calls every single week. These are small groups of 25 or less where you get to learn from the questions of others, you get to have your questions answered, and I get to probe you and ask you questions so that I can have better clarity on what you may need to smooth out your journey and help hold you more accountable. I also have a private Facebook community so that you have a constant peer support as well as support for myself as well as others. Now, important note, if you're really looking for a secret fix, a secret diet, a new fad diet, some program where you can just disappear after a few weeks, this really isn't for you. I don't want anyone who isn't completely ready to go all in with their transformation. So if you're tired of feeling like your body is the only one that won't change, and you really want to go all in, then book a discovery call with me and let's have a meaningful conversation about you and your transformation. On this call, we'll talk in great detail about your vision because we can only reach those goals that we have clearly defined and we can see vividly ourselves. So we'll flesh it out, we'll make it real, and then together we'll create a clear path from where you are today to that vision of where you know you want to end up. If at that point I'm able to help you more deeply, and that's something that you want from me, then I'll make you an offer for me to work with you. However, in order for the call to be effective, you'll be asked to fill out a very short 3-minute questionnaire. Probably take you about 2 to 3 minutes to fill out this questionnaire. When you book the call. You'll be led to answer just a few very important questions that will give me hidden details on what might be getting you stuck. So be as honest as you can and as detailed as you can. Because the more I know about you, who you are, the easier it is for me to help you gain clarity on our call. And that is the goal. The goal is clarity, so you understand what to do. Now, I don't work with everyone and anyone that I'm not 100% sure I can help. I am an expert at creating the space for great transformations, but my way of coaching really isn't for everyone. My sweet spot are people who have decided that they are ready to transform once and for all. They are ready for results and are sick of wasting their time. Now, if it turns out that what you need is outside of my zone of genius, I will do my best to refer you to someone who I think can help you. The worst case scenario is that you and I will spend an hour, 45 minutes or an hour at the most talking. You'll be talking to me, an expert on body transformations, and you'll get clarity on some of the internal and external blocks that may be getting you stuck in non-transformational patterns. Either way, it's a win. You're more informed and you're better off for it. So remember, the time for change is always now. How do you know when you're ready? You agree that the time is now. That's it. The perfect time is when you say it is. If this sounds like something you're ready for, then book a 45-minute discovery call with me on the link below, and let's figure out what may be standing in your way to get a great transformation. Let's talk about what it's going to take to create that lasting transformation that you crave now. It's waiting for you. I'm ready. Are you? Book your call. Click the button, click the link below, and book your 45-minute discovery call with me, and let's find out.